Your ego is going to see flames. I'll just put it out there. Your ego, I repeat, your ego will see flames. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Gugu Mkize. If you're already a subscribee, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. To all the newbies, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and like and share the video if you do enjoy it. But I'm hoping that today's video you will share, because it's a super helpful video for anyone who's trying to start out a business. So I've been away for a little bit, yes I have, but I needed to just take a break because of this whole lockdown situation. But I am back, and I have something that I think is super helpful in terms of the situation we're in right now, in terms of the coronavirus and the lockdown. So a lot of people have sort of come to the realization that sometimes just working isn't enough, especially when things like this happen, because a lot of people are being laid off, a lot of people are not being paid in full. So it will be natural for somebody to sort of want to get like a second hustle or extra income in whatever way they possibly can. So with that comes a lot of things that people don't tell you. There are a lot of things that I had to sort of learn along the way when I started my business, that I wish somebody could have told me about, because it would have better prepared me for the long road that is entrepreneurship, and it sort of would have safeguarded me and given me something to expect. So when things are happening, I'm not like in the pits because I'm thinking, wow, this is only happening to me, my life is over and whatnot. So as you can tell by the name of the video, I'm going to be giving you 12 lessons that I wish I learned, or things that I wish I knew before starting out my business, or my businesses, but same thing, either one business or whatever the case may be. But these are things that I wish I knew. But before I forget, I just want to share something super cool with everyone. If you don't know, I have a cosmetics brand called Dream Doll Cosmetics, and I have a primer. So this is the primer, and so this primer is like, it was designed to save you coin, and today I'm going to show you how it saves you coin. So I dropped it and I cracked it, but it's hard plastic so it won't break, it's still in one piece. So as you keep using the primer, it's got a cool little mechanism that, so as you keep using it, it pushes the product up and up and up, and so as you use it, it will go up and you'll use every last drop of the primer. So you're not going to be wasting any money with me, honey. You will use your primer till the fullest. If I sell you something for probably 180, 150, even 100 bucks, trust me, you're going to use the last cent of the 100 bucks on your product. So I just wanted to share that cool fun fact about my products. Okay, let's get right into it. I've written all the points down so that I don't forget anything important. So if I keep looking down, you know why. So the first one that I have here is the fact that starting a business is actually a full-time job. In fact, it is longer than a full-time job. The hours are longer. Chances are the stress will be even more than your normal job. So if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're trying to get into business on a full-time basis, for instance, you won't be working 9-to-5. There are days where I literally will be up at 6 o'clock and I already have like lots of messages that I need to respond to. There are days where I will go to sleep late at night because I'm still trying to sort out messages or work or prepare something, pack orders, whatever the case may be. So it is not a 9-to-5. Like, you don't start at a certain time and end at a certain time and that's it, and you'll see everything the next day, especially because it's your business. So if you don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. So the hours are longer. Be mindful of that one. The second one is one that I learned very quickly, is the fact that your family, your friends, they're not really your target market. yes, a lot of them, or some of them, if any of them in fact, will buy your product, support your service, or anything that you're doing in terms of business. But those aren't the people that you're really trying to sell to, because there's only so many products your family will buy because they're trying to get you started. You should never start a business because you're thinking, if I start this business, I've got 12 aunties that are going to support this business. I've got 50 cousins that are going to come to my salon and do their hair. And I have 10 friends that are going to come and do their lashes. Already you are headed in the wrong direction. Yes, they will come, but those are not your main customers. Do you get what I'm saying? You need to get people that don't know you that will come and sort of speak on behalf of your brand, be like your sort of brand ambassadors, free and willingly. So yes, family will come and support, but that's not who you're targeting. If you're gonna start a business to sell to your clique and your family, you're already headed in the wrong direction. So be very mindful of that. Yeah, and about that point, if you are planning your business and talking about your target audience, and majority of your target audience is your family, yes, Mang is gonna buy from me, you need to relook the business. Okay. Number 3. It's a lot of the time, not always, there are people who are very fortunate, but a lot of the time it will take you longer than you generally expected for you to start making money. And when I mean start making money, I mean an actual profit. Breaking even is great. If you're breaking even, like the first few months, the first month or so, that's a good thing, because that means that going forward, as you grow, you're gonna make a profit. But you making enough money to buy that G-Wagon next month, I don't know about that happening as soon as you would want it to happen. For some people it does happen, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the time it'll take you longer than you expected. So be prepared and be in it for the long run, and understand that you're not going to start a business today and the next month be buying your G-Wagon, the next month when you're buying property and things like that. Be patient and sort of pace yourself so that you don't find yourself getting frustrated because you didn't make a profit so much so as to buy a G-Wagon that very month. Do you get what I'm saying? So it sometimes will more often take you longer to make the money that you expected to make. Yes, you will make money, but it might not be what you had expected when you started your business, because when you start a business you're thinking like everything's great, this idea is the best, there's no other idea like this. But of course life happens, so be very mindful of that and pace yourself. The 4th one is you will say yes to everything until you say no. What that basically means is a lot of people, when they start businesses, they get to a point where when you start a business and then you start getting customers, for instance. When you get those customers, you will get those customers that will, for instance, if you're using probably F&B and you get a customer that's using Capitec, and they'll say things like, oh no, I can't send money to your F&B, can you get me a Capitec bank account? If you start entertaining like everything and saying yes to those kinds of things, another one will come and say, yeah, I don't use F&B, I use Netbank, can you try and make means so that we can deposit into a Netbank account? You end up saying yes to everything, and it ends up being an inconvenience to you, because now you got to open all these bank accounts when you had a bank account when you started out your business. So be very careful of that. There are things that you just need to say no to from the beginning, because I'm expecting when you start your business, you'll have a certain process as to how you conduct business. So if somebody comes and says, why aren't you banking with Capitec? How does that make a difference? Do you get what I'm saying? So be careful of saying yes to everything, trying to for instance, please customers, or saying yes to everything in terms of opportunities. Like if someone says to you, hey, I have a website and I sell South African products, and you say yes and you rush to go work with them and it doesn't make you money, and somebody else says, I can sell the products for you at work, and you say yes and you give them the stuff and that doesn't work, you end up saying yes to everything and then you get your fingers burnt. So every single opportunity that comes your way is great. Think about it. Think about the pros and the cons of those opportunities before you say yes, because saying yes, yes, yes all the time may come back to bite you in the behind. So be careful and be very mindful of that. Number 5. This one's a very important one if you want to remain sane in the world of entrepreneurship. Your ego is going to see flames. I'll just put it out there. Your ego, I repeat, your ego will see flames, sis. 1, when you're starting out your business, you're thinking, this is such a fabulous idea. Why hasn't anybody thought of this? Oh, my products are the best. Nobody has products like this. Like, you are your hype man, which is a good thing. Until you start the business and you launch and you're expecting to be sold out that day, and things are supposed to be going well and it may not happen. You will be sitting there thinking, but why aren't these people like catching on to this amazing product, this amazing idea, this amazing service that I'm offering? Generally, you will see flames because not everybody will respond to your business, your brand, your services, or whatever it is that you're doing the way that you would respond, because I mean, it is your brand. At the end of the day, it is your idea. So be mindful of that. Understand that people won't jump onto your idea the minute you put it out there, and like that's a proven fact. The same thing, I think I saw something that said the guy who invented Coca-Cola only sold like 25 bottles in a year. I'm sure when he started he thought, listen, this is it, this is the drink for life. But of course people didn't agree with him at the time. I fully agree with him now because that's my favorite, but at the time people didn't agree, and you can imagine what that did to him as a person. For you to keep pushing through when you realize that people aren't really responding the way you want them to, it's going to be like one of the reasons that will make you successful. So understand that there will be days where your ego will see flames, but you need to understand that also being an entrepreneur and starting a business is a humbling process on its own. So be ready for that, be mindful of that, and you'll be good. Number 6. People, this is a very important one, and I think anybody can relate to this. Customers do not, no they don't give a damn if you started yesterday, you started your business 20 minutes ago, or you started your business last year. You need to fully understand what the hell you're doing. For one, you need to be able to deliver. If you say you're starting a business, be ready to deliver. If you're failing to deliver, whether you started yesterday, last year, or whenever, defeats the purpose. Be ready to deliver, because customers are not going to expect anything less from you. You're the one who said you're rendering a service. You're the one who's selling a product. Deliver on time, every time. Communicate with your customers. Make sure that they always know what's happening, because nobody is expecting excuses. I don't know you. You can't be giving me excuses, especially when I've paid for a service or a product. Be very, very mindful of that. Think about that and understand that. Well, let that one sink in. The next one is point 7. Launching and getting paying customers is 2 different things. You can create a website, have it go live, have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, send your products out to influencers on social media, have them promote your brand. But before you actually get a paying customer, like, what have you done? You've put your things out there, people are seeing your things, but nobody is like enticed enough to come and buy from you, buy your products, or render a service to you. So understand fully that those two things are different. Yes, in order for you to get paying customers, you need to have launched, but you need to be very mindful that once you've launched, your job doesn't end there. In fact, it's now intensified, because now you need to push to get paying customers, and you need to push to get paying customers all the time. You can't get one customer a month, because then you haven't, maybe you should review your service or your products or things like that. But you need to understand that once you've launched, there needs to be movement, and movement headed in the direction of people paying for your products. If you're gonna send them out to all the influencers in the world, but you still don't have paying customers, that is a problem. You cannot fully say that you've launched what it is you're doing and it's working for you and it's now a business. So keep that in mind when you're sending out things or posting. You need to get actual sales, or you need to get paying customers, because sometimes you may have a product, sometimes you may have a service, but both require paying customers. And then point number 8, don't waste money on things that don't matter. I cannot stress this enough. There's certain things that there's times in a business where you've started. For instance, I'll talk about the makeup brand. I have a makeup brand and I've just started. Then somebody else other people have had makeup brands before I have, and there's certain things that they're doing and certain things that they can afford to do that I can't afford to do. But if I'm trying to afford to do what they're doing, it's a waste on my end, because there's a lot of things that I could use that little money for, even if it's $100. Trust me, you can put that money towards something that will help grow your business to a point where you can start doing what they're doing. But be very mindful of being in your situation, understanding your finances, understanding where you are as a business, and then trying to be like somebody who's been in business for 10 years, for 5 years, even for a year or 2 years. You guys aren't in the same place, so be mindful of how you use your coin in order to grow your business. Otherwise, you end up not having a business to grow, because you would have splurged all the money. Every time you get money in, you're splurging it again. Also, remember that you need to save for rainy days in business, because those do come, and you need to be fully prepared for those days, and understand that it is a normal thing. It will happen. It happens to other people. You're just gonna have to push through that. And then point number 9, understand and know that this happens to everyone. If you're having a day like the one I'm going to explain, come back, watch this video again, and you'll know that you're not the only one. When you're an entrepreneur, if you're in business, the highs are really high. The lows are extremely low. So you could be in a situation where you're making sales like this, and it's good, you for it, you're like, things are working. Do you get what I'm saying? And then come a time where it's dead. When I say dead, I mean dead. Yesterday you were getting, you had something like 1,000 people on your website. The next day you have 4 people on your website in a day, and you're just sitting there like, wow, yesterday I was like a thing, today I'm not such a thing. So be very mindful of that. When you have your lows, you need to be in a situation where you are like a motivation to yourself. You need to remind yourself why you started this thing in the first place. You need to remind yourself that you're not the only one going through this. For that, I can tell you for sure. You're not the first person who will go through this. You will not be the last person to go through that, and that may not be the last time you go through that. Things come and go, life changes, you can't predict everything. So understand fully well that when it's high, it's high, but when it's low, it's low. So you need to be in a situation where when it's high, you manage your expectations as well, and you don't, like, your ego doesn't go like this you keep cool, you stay focused, and you keep doing your thing. And when it's low, because you've already found that equilibrium, you know that when you're low, you need to like crawl all the way to that equilibrium to remind yourself that things change, things are going to get better, things improve. Take whatever low it is that you're facing as a lesson that you will learn from in order to grow your business. So remember that that's actually the most important, because if you want to continue, firstly, running a business is not easy. So the lows will be low. So you need to be strong enough to pull yourself back up and motivate yourself to go through the day, go to the next day, and keep yourself going. That's very, very, very important. And I think that's how I managed to get this far and survive in terms of the business, is because I've sort of just been that person that is able to deal with things that come. Like if I see flames, and I'll be like, yo, I'm seeing flames. And you'll think it's just like minor flames. That time I'm like in a full-on burning house. But I know how to manage those things and to keep myself going to the next day, because I know it's not gonna last forever. So figure that one out and master that skill. Okay, and then number 10, there is no set path. What that makeup brand did to launch, what they're doing, how they started, how they got to where they were, may not necessarily be your success story. You get what I'm saying? How I did things, my process in doing things, how I do things may not necessarily be your success story. So you need to get all of this information from everyone, figure out what you're going to try, what you're not going to try, figure out what works for you, and figure out what to dump. Because business is also a trial and error. There are things that will work for you that other people are doing. There's things that will not work for you. So be quick enough to get information, to do the research that you need to do in order for you to keep going, to start or to market yourself, whatever. Figure out quickly what's working for you and figure out what's not working for you. A lot of the time, the stuff that's not working for you is stuff that's draining your coin but not bringing in any income. That's not working for you. It's costing you money and it's not making you any money. That's the easiest way to figure out what you shouldn't be entertaining for too long and what you should keep trying to master. See? So number 11, guys, there are people who will come to you and advise you on your business, how to run it, how to do things, what you're doing wrong, all kinds of things. If you're an entrepreneur, you will definitely get unsolicited advice. Family, friends, customers, random people like on social media, they'll all come for you with these fabulous, great ideas that you've never thought of trying before, because that's always the case. A lot of the advice is things that you've tried. It's things that didn't work for you. It's things that you can't afford to try at the moment. So with that kind of thing, you just need to say thank you for the advice. I've heard it. I will try and see how I can, include it in my business, and just be graceful about it. You don't have to be rude. At the worst, you just listen. And sometimes that unsolicited advice comes in handy when you least expect it. So listen when people are talking. Don't break somebody's spirit down. Don't get offended. Listen, say thank you, and move on. And already, when people are giving you that kind of advice, you already know in your mind whether it's something you're gonna try or something you're never gonna try in your life. So just be graceful, say thank you, I appreciate the advice, and continue with life, because a lot of that advice is going to be coming your way. Once you start a business and people start seeing that it's actually going somewhere, they'll come for you with all the advice in the world. The last one. This again is not for everyone, but I've realized that it's in most cases. Early success is temporary, because if you become like, you start a business, you're selling lip glosses, you sell all your lip glosses out. If you don't manage yourself and focus and not let your ego grow, you may lose all of that, because now you think that I got this business thing on lock, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that, I got this thing on lock, people are buying my products, there's no need for me to improve, or whatever the case may be. So if you're one of those people that stumble across early success, keep pushing as if there is no success, because once you start to relax in business, you start to slack, you don't really care anymore. You think that what you're selling to people or the service you're rendering is a gift to every customer. It is not a gift. So you must keep your ego in check, especially when success comes early. Keep your ego in check, because what you think is success at that point in time may not even be success. You're probably like still gonna blow more than it is that you're blowing at that point in time. So stay focused. Focus on the end game, the reason why you started the business in the first place, and then keep your ego in check, sis. Like, that's just like one thing. Don't be like over the top, don't let your head get too big, and continue pushing as if this is something that hasn't really brought you success, because chances are you're still gonna make money. Do you get what I'm saying? So be very mindful of that, be very careful of that. Disclaimer, those are all 12 of things that I wish I learned. Disclaimer, I am not a professional, I don't get paid for any of this advice, so this is just my experiences. Take them if you will, use them, consider them, or whatever it is you want to do with them, but don't come back and say, nah, I said. This is just from my personal experience. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this kind of content in terms of business and all of that stuff, please let me know with a thumbs up, with a comment, and I'll try and come back with more ways to sort of start a business, grow your business, maintain a business, or just share my experiences as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to watch some of my other videos. I will see you next week. Mwah, mwah.